I don't know why I'm like a stewardess, like two to the right, and there's another exit to the left and in front of you. Okay, no. See you in the tutorial. Bye! Hello guys, this is Sandra here, and today we are gonna play with this palette, which is the Jeffree Star Mini Breaker palette, and this is part of my Use Them Shadows series. I've created many other videos in this series before, so it's gonna be linked here up in the corner. I'm pretty sure it's this corner, and I always add it in the description box down below as well if you want to check out more of my videos. So basically each Friday I take one of my palettes and create a look with them, just to make sure that I get enough use out of all of them and I play around with them. So with this palette I created many looks before. In this video is when I was actually contemplating whether I should buy it or not, and well, clearly I bought it. So if you then click here, this is another video where I was actually recreating that first look to see how similar they are after I bought this. And if you click on this one, then I will be basically creating 3 different looks with this palette. So I created many other looks with this before, and I was making sure that none of those 4 looks are exactly the same as this one, otherwise what's the point? You know, so if you have this palette and if you were wondering what sort of look you should create, then I already did quite a few that might hopefully give you some inspiration. And without further ado, we're gonna jump into this video so you can see how I created this look. So if you like it, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and let's go for now. I don't know why I'm like a stewardess, like two to the right, and there's another exit to the left and in front of you. Okay, no. See you in the tutorial. Bye! As usual, I already primed my eyelid with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, so we're gonna go in, and first I'm gonna use the shade Bubblegum, and I will take it on the Blank Canvas E42 brush, which is just a nice fluffy blending brush. And I will keep my eye open so I see how far it will have to go. And I will start blending it in the inner corner, and I will also gradually build it up. Sorry, it just went a bit higher than it was supposed to. And this is a really nice lighter pink color, but for it to build up it takes a little bit of time, so there will be a lot of back and forth blending. And I will bring it up till about halfway. Once that color is laid down, I'm gonna go in with the shade Foreplay on the same brush and apply this about the same height, a bit further out, and also going over in the middle to connect the 2 shades. And we're going to do the same with this shade as I did with the previous one, just building it up, blending it out. These 2 shades blend quite seamlessly together either way. And now that that's done, I'm gonna still use the same brush, and I'm gonna dip in the shade Purple Punch. And I'm just gonna apply it in the outer corner. And I'm still using this fluffy brush because I want to gradually build it up. I don't want to deposit a lot of color there. And I will slightly start blending it outwards as well, so it can wing out a little bit like you see on the other side. And I will just keep building that shade up in the outer corner bit by bit, and then blend it with circular motions as well. Okie doke. Once we reach that point, I'm gonna cut the crease, and I will use the same Wet n Wild concealer, what I used to start out with, and I'm gonna use a teeny tiny flat brush, which gives me enough precision. And I just put a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand, and then grab a mirror so I can go close up mirror would be clean. That would help a lot. And again, I will keep my eyes open for this part, so I see how high up I have to go. And I try to match up the other side as well. I like to tap it in with my finger a little bit if needed to, especially where it meets the eyeshadow on the outer corner. And then I will take a flat brush and I will dip in the shade Oral. And then I will just pat it all over the concealer. Once we get to this point, I'm gonna take a small blending brush. This is a Morphe M506, and I'm gonna dip in the shade Purple Punch again. And make sure that that outer corner is a bit darker and a bit more purple. And it's just a bit easier with a bit more precise brush like this. Also, that's when it really comes out that my eye is a different shape on this side, so I need to make sure to roughly do the same shape, so you know, you can correct that at this point and just build up the outer corner and however dark you want it to be. And then also I'm gonna go back in with the flat brush that we used for the lid, and I'm gonna dip it in the shade Bite Me and just put a little bit of where Oral meets Purple Punch, and then use a bit more Oral next to it just so it all blends nicely together. And then I can go back in with a little blending brush. Like so, and I'm gonna go back in again with Oral just to make sure that it sits nicely everywhere. I feel like sometimes this shade works better as a topper, so you want to make sure that there are no gaps in the application. There. And now, just to make sure that that cut crease looks amazing, I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay Heavy Metal Liner in the shade Volume. And I was thinking to go in with, let me grab it, with the shade Starfire, which is a bit more of a coppery shade, but then I decided more for the pinky one, it just ties in a little bit better, you know. I also hope the lights are okay because I'm using natural light today, so, you know, fingers crossed. Okay, and then, sorry, I can talk and do this at the same time, but I'm gonna lightly trace the top of my cut crease with this beautiful pink, and because it's a bit above my actual crease, you should still see it when I open my eyes, just about, unless I'm looking up. In that case it doesn't really work, but as long as I'm looking straight ahead, it's just above my natural crease. And the end of it will roughly end where the lighter purple fades in the darker one, and I will wait for one layer to dry, and then I will go in with the second layer. I did 2 or 3 layers on the other side as well. It just works better that way. Alright, I will do the rest of my complexion and then I'll be back for the under eyes. Alright guys, I'm back so we can do my under eyes, and for my base I'm trying something different. I'm actually trying a few TikTok hacks, and that video is already up, so I'm gonna link it in the cards so you can watch it if you find those things interesting. And now we're gonna move on to my lower lash line. There you go, you're a bit more zoomed in, and hold on. Is that better, or am I way too washed out? we're gonna go with that for now. I'm gonna take my little palette and then I'm gonna dip into the shade Foreplay on a MAC, I don't know what brush it is, it's a fairly flat one, and I'm gonna use the edge of that to apply some on my lash line, and I don't mind going quite low with it. It's gonna go well with this style. Then I'm gonna go in with the brush that I used to blend out my top lash line, and I'm gonna use this as well to diffuse it furthermore. I think I might be able to go a little bit further out, so I'm gonna take a bit of Foreplay on the big brush as well and just connect those two. And then I'm gonna go for a smaller brush. This is the Zoeva 240 Luxe Petite Pencil. I'm gonna dip it in Purple Punch and just deepen up the outer corner with it. Like so. So it just makes a bit of the difference compared to the other eye. So let's repeat the same steps there. So the next step is actually one of the hacks as well, and it's to mix an eyeshadow with the Inglot Duraline. So I'm gonna mix it with the shade Purple Punch, and then we're gonna apply it as just a small liner, nothing too big. Again, huge flicks usually don't do anything for my lash line, so I'm gonna just apply a small little flick, and then I will finish the rest of my makeup and come back to say goodbye. After the liner is on, what I'm gonna do quickly, I'm gonna highlight with the highlighter I used on my cheeks, which is from the Charlotte Tilbury Rockstar Bronze and Glow. I don't know why it was so hard to think of, and I'm gonna use it with the Sigma E47 brush and apply a bit on my brow bone and then some in the inner corner. What I'm gonna do as well, I will use a pencil in my waterline. I'm gonna use the Love Drug shade from Urban Decay. And then I will apply mascara, lashes, lips, and I will be back to show you the finished result and to say goodbye as well. Alright guys, so that's the finished look. So if we zoom in, just ignore this eye and concentrate on that one, because this one got messed up in the TikTok challenge thing. Well, not a challenge, but in the TikTok video. So if you want to see that one, it will be linked in this corner, I think. If not, it's going to be the other one. I always mess that up, but basically this is the finished look. I quite like it, especially with the lashes, because I don't often wear lashes, so when I do, it makes, you know, a nice change. And that's it for now. If you like this look, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel. I do a lot more other tutorials and, you know, little bits and bobs here about project pens, and again, trying out things like with the TikTok, and just anything beauty related really. So if you like beauty content, please consider subscribing, and for now I'm gonna go. I hope you have a lovely day, and bye bye.